Yo, yo, yo. What is going on? All right, I see the conversation has already started, which is fantastic. And I did catch up in chat. We'll give everybody a couple minutes. We'll see how many people are actually going to turn up for today's live stream. BMG Jet, I see you there. Dolce Farniente. Dolce Farniente. Anyways. And we've got Raichu and Deep Sky and Hardstyle. Hey, Hardstyle, how's it going, man? Oops. What are we doing here? No. Okay. Yes. And go. Oops, wrong one. What's happening, everybody? It is Friday. Yes, let's go. Just give me a couple minutes here. We're going to see who is going to land on today's live stream. And I'm going to turn that down because that's not cool. And be sure to hit that like button as you're coming in. Ring that doorbell as you're walking into my house. And then we're going to give this a couple minutes here, probably 5 to 10 minutes here to see how many people are going to show up for this conversation, because this conversation is going to piss some people off. I know it. You know it. Everybody knows it. Yeah. Real DJ, what's up? The DJ Elf. Yeah, Leon, we're going to get into that. I'm doing all right as well. You know what? We're having a pretty kick-ass summer where I am. The weather has been fantastic. Just enough rain to keep the wildfires at bay, and the weather has been phenomenal. Going to go do some camping here in the next 10 days or so, which is good. Excited about that. Yeah. So I'm gonna meet you on that level right there, Hardstyle, because I've done it too. But we're gonna get into that. So so BMG Jet and Dolce kind of already started the conversation, and it sounds a little bit like, not specifically, but it sounds a little bit like BMG Jet is on my same page. Sort of. I guess he didn't really specifically express an opinion, but we'll see what happens. It's very late or early, I guess, depending on your view on things, where BMG Jet is, but he typically tries to show up to my streams, which I appreciate. And I would definitely love to hear his point of view. There are also, I should have reached out. I should have gone to the guys at CodeFling, and I should have gone to the guys at Lone.Design to get their feedback on this topic, because I know it's of interest to them as well. DJ Bot, sorry. Depends on how you use these models. BMG Jet and Dolce kind of already started the conversation. Sounds a lot further than just a chatbot. Anyways, how have you guys been? Yes, Raven, I agree. It is further than a chatbot. That is 100% true. And like, even chatbots are doing a really good job, a fairly good job. Like, even just the base level of ChatGPT. Oh, that's funny. Okay. I thought you were just repeating the same thing back to me there. That's hilarious. Even ChatGPT, the free version or the very lowest level, is doing a pretty good job at creating plugins. I'm not gonna lie. Good old whisper flow. Yeah, exactly. That's hilarious. Yeah, BMG Jet's still around, still doing stuff. Yeah, he's been around for a really long time. He's one of the golden oldies. A lot like myself. All right, so this is probably going to be a fairly tame conversation. I'm not expecting a whole lot of people that want to hear my opinion on this, but we're going to get started anyways. So here's where I land on it. So I've created Rust plugins using a couple of different things. ChatGPT, Cursor. I dove very, very briefly into Claude. And I've created things. So I'm on my server, on my own personal server, and I'm like, hey, I remember seeing this on somebody else's server. Let's see if I can recreate that. And I did it. And I even, I'll give you the real life example. So what I was trying to do is I was playing on a server where you could throw basically any food item that has a seed associated with it. You could throw it into a box and it would immediately convert it into a seed, the same seed of what the item was. And I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. I want to have that on my server when I was going through a big farming stage. And so I did it. And then I was like, okay, well, we can actually make this better. So so you throw your item into the box, it turns it into a seed and it stays in the box. So I wanted to take it one step further. I throw the item into the box, it converts it into a seed and then automatically puts it back into my inventory. Simple, right? Like this is just a tiny little detail, but it was taking it one step further from what the original concept was. But at no point in time would I ever consider selling that feature. I didn't even put that behind a VIP paywall on my server. Everybody had access to it for free. That's how conscious I was of trying to generate revenue out of something that is AI generated. And the reason for that is I'm not a coder. I'm not a developer by any stretch of the imagination. I don't know C#. I can't write C#. I've learned a lot while doing what I've been doing, but I still wouldn't consider myself a developer by any stretch of the imagination. So while yes, I did end up with a working plugin, still works to this day, but I would never try to sell that, and I would never try to charge people to use it on my own server. So this is just my opinion here. This is just me expressing my thoughts on this topic. It recently was brought to my attention that some of the hosting sites are taking some initiative on this topic as well. And this stuff is going to affect everybody in the Rust community. So that's where I felt like I needed to step in here and back them up, mainly was what I was getting at. Let me just catch up on chat. There's totally AI slop out there, but if you're taking the time and testing it and checking performance, it can be a really good tool. Yes, I agree with that. That is true. And yes, you can do that. You can still end up with a working product on the outset of your project. But should you be allowed to charge? Should you be allowed to sell that product on the open market? And in my opinion, no. There's a couple of different reasons. The biggest of which is you have to be able to maintain that product forever. Somebody buys it today, that plugin still needs to work in 5 years. Now, and there's a couple of arguments to be made here as well. So AI models take months to train, to learn. And Rust is constantly changing. So like something that ChatGPT might know today could change on the next forced wipe. So that plugin that was created today will probably break. And you have to be able to maintain that for everybody that you sold that product to. Okay, Jason, that's a great point. So half the time I use AI to fix broken plugins that haven't been updated yet. I've done that myself. There are free plugins available from Umod that haven't been updated in a really long time. Some of them have even been marked as no longer maintained, which was shocking to me because I was actually able to fix it in a couple of steps and make it still work. I want to say, was it Helicon? Here, I can actually look it up. I think it was Helicon that has been moved to no longer maintained. Don't quote me. I want to check before I say this definitively. Bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. It was something that I use fairly often. Okay, so it's not Helicontrol. Not Helicontrol. That is maintained by Shady. So that's good. I trust Shady. I'm assuming he's taken that over from somebody else. Whatever, doesn't matter. There's a plugin on Umod that I was shocked to find that it had been moved to no longer maintained. There's nothing worse than an outdated plugin spamming console. I agree. And being able to put that plugin, as long as it's a free one or freely available to everybody, putting that plugin into ChatGPT and saying, here, fix this, I don't have an issue with that. I imagine the guys over at Umod do have a problem with it, but I think it's more important that the server stay up and running than violating any. And I haven't looked on their I don't know if they have a terms of service on Umod that would be in direct violation of. If there is, then I would change my opinion on that, because if they have it written down where we're not supposed to be doing that, then I would advocate for not doing that. But this is just a free marketplace for plugins, and what I'm more concerned about is the premium sites that are charging for these plugins. So, and we're going to get into that in just a minute here. Yeah, and there's tons of different reasons why you might want to, you know, fix a plugin or change something about a free plugin or whatever. And these tools do work great for that. Okay, Dolce, you're back. Cool. I fully 100% support human coders and respect their terms of service wholeheartedly. Me too. If you sell, you got to be willing and able to refund, in my honest opinion. I agree with that. Yeah, maintenance is everything. Maintenance is more important than actually releasing a plugin. And I firmly believe that. We went through a bit of a scenario, I want to say last December, it doesn't matter when. We ran into a scenario where a very prominent developer left the community, and he just walked away. And so somebody actually had to pick up all of his plugins and get them updated, which means going through them and actually learning what was all done in the plugin, and then learning what the fixes are going to be, and then publishing those updated plugins. And we're talking premium here. So like, this person walked away from making money off of the plugins. And then somebody had to step in and take over. I didn't like but I understand life happens. Like, you know, I might quit tomorrow. I'm not going to quit tomorrow. But like, life happens, and I totally understand whatever happened to that developer. He completely left the industry. I haven't heard from him it's getting close to years. But somebody was able to step in and take over and make sure that all of those previous clients that had bought that product, they were still taken care of. Okay, Dolce, that is another one of my points that I wanted to talk about. So I took a plugin that was on a server, and I created it. I didn't take his plugin and edit it. So taking somebody's idea, making a tiny little tweak to it, and then putting it out as your own, no, that is not acceptable. I will not suborn that at all, ever. I have always, like, since I very first started this channel back in 2019, I think it was, I have always advocated for the developer over the server owner, over the hosting platform, I've always supported the developer over everybody else. I wanted them to get paid. I think their skills are invaluable to the community. I think their dedication to their craft is unparalleled. And I have always stood up for the developers, always. most of the developers that I've ever communicated with will agree with me that I've always advocated for their benefit. Yeah, yep, I agree with that, Raven. It's still theft if you take someone's logic and alter it as if it was yours to begin with. And so we're talking about that Seedbox plugin. I'll tell you exactly who the developer was if somebody asked. I would tell you the server that I found that plugin on that I wanted to recreate. I will never suggest to anybody that I created that plugin because I didn't come up with the concept. The only thing that I did was run it through, I think, Cursor at the time and said, here, this is what I want to do. And out it spit out the project that I was looking for. Yeah, I think Umod does say that you can't take it and pass it off as yours, which is what happened with, actually, I'm not going to say it because I'm not here to put anybody on blast. So I'm not going to give you the example that I had in my head right there, but that did happen. So they took a plugin from Umod that was free, made a whole plethora of changes to it, and then posted it on one of the premium sites and then started charging people for it. But it was still, the base of it was still the original plugin for free. So I had an issue, and so did Umod. They had a big issue with it, and it caused a lot of strife with a lot of people. Best way to keep AI updated is to upload the Rust data files when you submit your request with AI. Even if they find an issue with current plugins, they still haven't been updated. Okay, I get what you're saying. I just don't know if I support that. WWSD, I love that. I use that all the time. Not for myself. There's another person that I say WWSD. And it's those same letters. WWSD. That's hilarious. It's really funny. I hope they see this video because that would be hilarious if they could see that. Made an event plugin that has complete puzzle, replaces the original doors with puzzle doors, and restores them back when the event cleans up. Cool. I kind of want to see that. So good. I'm glad somebody brought that up. I had Grok make me a plugin that automatically updates all my AI plugins, works flawlessly. That's terrifying. So I have exactly zero experience with Grok. I've never used Grok one time. I don't know anything about it. I'm assuming it's similar. It's still a chat bot. It's like ChatGPT. I don't know. My experience, the Umod community, it can be very challenging and time consuming. We are mostly volunteers building plugins for a community as a hobby or in our spare time. Yes, that's true. And on that note, the developers that do this for free in their spare time and they still get their plugins updated on time for wipe day so that we're never rarely waiting for a plugin to be updated is incredible. That's what I'm talking about when I reference the dedication required from these developers to make sure that their products are always maintained, even the free ones, is unmatched by any other community. I swear it. Okay, so Raven says I'm a dev myself as well, so I agree. I have a few plugins I've made. They were made for Rust servers. The PvP tags plugin, yeah. Instant repair, yep. Cool. I love Claude. It's worth the money. No reason to try and pass stuff off as yours when they can easily tell that it's someone else's work and that all you did was run it through a chatbot. So this is what inspired me to do this live stream or to have this conversation today. Somebody, I'm not going to name them, somebody put out a warning basically saying, stop flooding our submission process with your AI slop. And I was like, duh. Are they actually doing that? And so, yeah, clearly they are. People are submitting these plugins for approval to be sold on these platforms and they've spent years trying to build these platforms up. And now you want to flood it with a bunch of AI slop? Like, no. So you're wasting curators' time that are going through it and saying, this is AI slop, I'm not going to approve this. And you're creating a backlog for the people that are legitimately coding from the ground up, not using AI, and so they get delayed. I've seen people wait 3 months to get approved on a specific site, and it's not because the curators aren't looking at it, it's because they're too busy dealing with everything else that it's taking them that long to get to your project, which is a crime in itself, because then we could be missing out on something because it's waiting for an approval process that, I don't know, may never happen. I don't know. I don't know what's happening on the back end. Say that the entirety of the decompiled Rust server and client given to LLM in a structured environment makes functional plugins without issue, even if not perfect. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I want perfection. If I'm paying somebody for a product, I want perfection. I want the best performant plugin that does exactly what I want it to do every time. I don't want, well, it basically works. I want it works every time. If you use ChatGPT or any AI, disable improve the modal for everyone in data controls, so you're not training the AI to make Rust plugins from paid content. Yeah, but only the honest people are going to do that, and that's not what's happening. They're buying these plugins from these platforms, running it through ChatGPT or Cursor or whatever, and making a couple of tweaks here and there and changing the name of the developer to themselves and then re-uploading it somewhere else and selling it. It's no different from what was happening back in the day. Well, it's still actually happening with the sites that are hosted from these specific countries that are stealing all of this stuff and reselling it. It's the exact same thing. Dolce, what's up with the $2 super chat? Thank you for your service. This isn't a service. But much respect to you as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. When you say thank you for your service, I think military, and I'm not military. I wish I was, but I'm not. And so anyway, totally different topic of conversation. What defines AI slop? Great question. Thank you for asking that. AI slop, you can tell when you're looking at some, or a lot of people can tell when you're looking at something that was created strictly by AI, you can tell by looking at it. Whether that be a person standing there holding a cup of coffee with 7 fingers on one hand, or the exact, or a dog with 6 legs instead of 4, or a cow with horns coming out of its butt instead of out of its head. Like, there's ways of telling. And developers, other developers and curators for these premium sites can look at code the exact same way as seeing a cow with horns coming out of its butt instead of out of its head. They can see that stuff. I can't see that stuff because I'm not a developer. I've never claimed to be a developer. I can't confidently look at a code and say AI created that. Maybe I can. I've never tried. I'm not a developer. I'm not a curator, so it doesn't matter to me. All I'm doing is using my platform to talk about this stuff. Excuse me. Jason with the $20 super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You didn't put a comment in there, which is okay. I don't mind that. And then there's this term. There's this term out there. And I have a funny story. The term is vibe coding. And I'm not going to lie to you, the very first, I remember the conversation distinctly. I know what I was doing and who I was talking to when I first heard the term vibe coding. And it was only about 15 months ago. It was last spring. It was the first time I heard the term vibe coding. And at the time, didn't know what it meant. I didn't know what they were trying to say. I very quickly realized that that was a very big insult to the person that they were talking to, that they said vibe code, which was like, oh, I I didn't know what was being said, so I didn't know that it was a huge insult, and it was. Somebody was looking at a project and say, "Oh, what did you do? Vibe code that over the weekend?" And no, the guy didn't. It was a legitimate product, and he didn't vibe code. He was a trained and educated C# programmer. But the people that need to know can look at something and tell if it was vibe coded or not. Even I'm getting better at looking at stuff and being like, ugh, that looks like AI spit that out. I would never claim to be a professional at it, or I would never even want to be a curator to do that. But you can tell. And if you think you can't tell, you're fooling yourself, because the people that need to know, they can tell. Kind of did submit an AI plugin, but it was not to sell it. It was just an addition for my fireworks show product to fully automate it. I only made it to make it easier for users to use them. So hardstyle, are you charging for it? Because that's the key. This entire conversation circles around generating money off of AI content. If you're giving it away for free, I got no issue with that. And the curators, I'm not going to say what their rules are, but I think the curators shouldn't have a problem with that either, as long as it stays free and it is very clear that this was created by AI. That would be my only stipulation. Yep, Raven, yep. Like, that's exactly it. And that's why I'm having this conversation today. And I'm glad that there's so many people in here actually watching what I'm saying, because I really we got to do something about this. This is not okay. We have to stop bungling up the approval process with AI slop, because just think of how many products we're missing out on right now because the curators can't sift their way through the AI slop fast enough. Needs to work every time and not have a million hooks just to do a few simple things. Most don't even optimize the plugins when they are using AI. Yes, I agree with that. Don't disagree by any means. I'm saying that this is the issue. It gives false confidence, but the problem is that it works. That's the issue. Yeah, that is the problem. It does work. Most of the time, it works. Dolce, that's a very kind comment. So Dolce says, I was in the military and I believe you serve with the same amount of honor, courage, and commitment, in my honest opinion. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I have I can get emotional just saying it. I have a large amount of respect for people that stand on the front lines and put their life at risk to allow me to do what I do, sleep soundly at night, walk down the street, do whatever it is that I want to do. There is a group of people that stand at arms, making sure that I can still do that. There is an unlimited amount of respect that I have for those people, and take all of the political nonsense out of it. I honor service members whenever I can. Nothing I have to say is worth. Jason, come on, man. That's okay. I appreciate the super chat anyways. Everyone's conversation, everyone's opinions are valuable to me. So that's funny though. Maybe need a rating system from verified developers to show potential customers which ones are legit and which ones are not. So yeah, that's a good idea. Except what's happening is all of the AI slop, like I'm using that term. This is going to be the kind of the industry standard now. So AI slop is just going to get declined. It's never going to see the light of day, and you're never going to make $1 off of it. I pray. Because if it's just crap, it's crap. And I don't care what anybody says. It does not deserve to make $1. And I don't want to waste any more developers' time trying to sift through it all. I just want people to stop submitting it for approval I know what I'm asking for is impossible, but I just want people to stop submitting their AI slop. Now, there's a huge section of this that I haven't talked about yet, which is the level of education. So what can you learn from AI? So I'm not good with C#, but I now know more, exponentially more than what I did even just a year ago, thanks to AI. So I'm learning. Does that make me a developer? No. Does that make me a vibe coder? I hope not. But I'm learning what I'm learning syntax, I'm learning what needs to do what, and I am learning those things. So if somebody were to take it and use it as an assistant, that's different. If you're using AI to assist in your work, that might get through. But you have to be doing a majority of the work. You have to be doing the creative aspect of things. You have to be doing the syntax aspect of things. But when you run into a problem, if you go to AI to get the solution, there's nothing wrong with that. That's what AI is for. But getting these chatbots to create something from the ground up because you're bored one day, that's not the solution. That's not right. Yeah, vibe coders, yuck, exactly. Devs that have no experience, that only know how to use AI prompts. Okay, so on that, I watched somebody go from not knowing anything about C#. In fact, they asked me what language plugins are programmed in, and I told them it was C#. So they went from knowing less than nothing to actually having valuable plugins out in the marketplace, and they're paid plugins. Most of them are paid plugins. Some of them are free too. But I watched his progression go from nothing to something. So he actually learned what he was doing and what things meant before AI even became half as popular as it is today. And I know that because I know that he wasn't using AI. It wasn't as readily available as it is today. And we're only going back like, I don't know, 4 years, maybe 5 years ago. AI wasn't readily available like it is today. I'm shocked that BMG Jet didn't come in here. Here I am making his argument. Or I was hoping that he would come in and help me make my argument. I guess that would be a better way to go. We're in an era of AI. Now is the coder, and real coder will be the reviewer of the code base. So that's true. Except I don't want that to happen. We can be in control. AI assist is one thing. Having AI do the job right from the ground up, no, that's not going to work. It's not going to fly. And nor do I think it should fly. Don't try and talk to me. I'm busy. Stop talking to me. Stupid watch. If you're going to upload a plugin for free, why not donate to a legit developer who can fix it up and maintain it and let them earn for their efforts? So, okay, great point. And let me just show you guys something that I know many people don't even know is there, even though it punches them right in the face every time they're on the Umod site. So you see this little button right here called donate? That's how you support the developers that are doing these plugins for free. Buy them a coffee, send them $1, send them $3-4. Like, it's, you know, a lot of these guys, I won't say a lot. Some of these guys, this is all they do. This is like their Rust is life to these people. Oops, wrong screen. You can easily buy a developer a coffee or a beer or whatever it is that you're in the mood for. Okay, think charging for AI products is fine if you're willing to maintain it and guarantee it, label it as AI made. No, I disagree with you. I'm sorry, but I do. That's why I'm saying that I know that this is an unpopular opinion, and I know I'm going to get some flack for this. I understand that, but I cannot agree with that statement. Even if you're maintaining it and keeping it working, it's still AI that's maintaining it. You're not actually injecting your own fixes or your own improvements or your own performance additions. You're not doing any of that stuff. All you're doing is putting it into a chat bot and saying, this is the error that I'm getting. Can you fix it? And we've all done it, but we can't charge for that. We'll get found out and sifted out. Oh, I see. It's two different comments. If you actually tested it and have a working product, people who upload bad stuff will get found out and sifted out. Thank you for finishing that comment. That makes sense. And that's what the curators are doing right now. And that's what they're backlogged with dealing with right now, is sifting out all of that junk. I've been working with Claude to make a better height map generator for maps to make them have better flow and give a natural look, not the hard transitions. So there's a lot of people out there working on height map generators, and there's a lot of really cool stuff coming out very, very soon. In fact, I think the guys at Fizzgun are actually, I shouldn't have said that. I'm pretty sure they're working on something similar. I don't know how far along they are in that development of that, so I shouldn't have said that. We can tell how much you put your heart into what you do for Rust. And thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm here. So I was the guy 7 years ago. I was the guy. I had nowhere to go. I had nobody to ask questions to, and that when I was trying to talk to the developers, they were very well, you should know how to do this. Well, no, because I'm just getting started. I had no idea. So it was only like 2 or 3 years of me running servers, and I was like, we need a resource. We need somewhere for people to go to get the information that the developers don't want to give away. They don't have time. They don't have energy. They don't like talking to people. Like, there's a lot of different reasons why developers don't want to hold our hands as newbies to help into the hosting game, business, industry, whatever you want to call it. And I was like, no, you know what? I want to be that guy. I want to be the guy that people come to ask questions to get into hosting a game that I absolutely love, which is hilarious. Another funny story, because it wasn't always that way. And so I became that guy. So I had to do hours upon hours upon hours of research. I had to have the answers that people were coming to me and asking. And I'm happy to be that guy. I've been that guy now for 6 years. The community that I have backing behind me, the Discord community, we've had some incredible people in there that just take the bull by the horns and help people that come there when I'm not available or I don't get to it soon enough. I'll put Mabel on blast here. Mabel basically ran my community for a long, long time, and it was a huge loss when Mabel decided to step away. I understand why he left, but it was a huge loss, and I've noticed it. I miss having Mabel in the community. I wish he would come back. I really do. Make a better plugin system. Better than what? I wonder. Yeah, Dolce, I understand what you're saying about a system that lets customers know that this plugin was created by AI. I get that. I would just rather take that out of the equation. Same with Python and C#. Yeah, if you're willing to learn, you're not a vibe code. Yeah, exactly. That's the point that I was making. If you're willing to learn and you're using AI to help you learn, that's not vibe coding. Vibe coding is taking a prompt from ChatGPT and putting it into Cursor, or even just having a conversation directly with ChatGPT until you end up with a .cs that functions on a server. That's vibe coding. BMG Jet was helping me by pointing out TOS. I studied the guidelines, disclaimer, creator policy on CodeFling for an hour last night. Great. And that is exactly what I did last night and today. I went to CodeFling's terms of service and I went to Loan.Design's terms of service. I was shocked to see that Lone.design hasn't implemented anything in regards to AI coding, vibe coding that I found. Maybe it's there and I just haven't found it yet. I'm not sure. But I couldn't find it at quick glance to see what Lone.design is doing for AI content. So Leon, that's actually my fault. So Leon says, for my 5 years on Umod, I received a $1 donation after releasing at least 10 plugins and maintaining others. That's my fault. I am constantly sending people to Umod, and I neglect to remind people that that button is right there, right below, just 2 down below the download button. You can buy the developer a coffee. I need to do a better job of bringing people's attention to that button. I'll try. I get set in my ways. I get like so routine in what I'm saying that it's sometimes hard for me to add things to it, but it's important that I bring people's attention to. I've done it a couple of times, but I need to do it better, more often. Rust Mapper, I feel turns out better work than Rust Edit. It's still early and needs more work to make it the #1 map editor. Hey, bring it to me when you've got something that you want to show off. Bring it to me and let me know. I'm not a pro at Rust Edit by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm willing to look at anything. And if I need to, I'll bring in other opinions too and see what they have to say about it. And if it's good, we'll promote the hell out of it. That is not vibe coding. Vibe coding is knowing what you're doing and creating something using AI as a tool. People are trying to make it a negative thing, but vibe coding is not bad. Vibe coding is not bad. I agree with that statement. Vibe coding is not a bad thing. Charging people for something that is vibe coded, that's where I take an issue. Yeah, Leon. Yeah, Mabel was fantastic. He was a huge asset. Like I said, I don't want to make a big deal about it, but it was a huge loss when Mabel decided to step away. I understand why he did it. I wish he would have given me another opportunity or... Yeah, anyways, that doesn't matter. So I know that this is an unpopular opinion. I know that people disagree with what I'm saying. I'm a little bit surprised that I don't have more developers in here backing me up with what I'm saying, because I'm saying this to protect them. I'm expressing my opinion on this topic to protect the developers industry or whatever, because I can see in not very long, like, I don't want their jobs to go away. I don't want to have to go to ChatGPT when I want a new plugin. I want a person that I can go to and be like, hey, can we work on this? Can we build this? And I don't know. I fear what's happening. And it's not because I don't like AI. I use AI. I'm in support of these data centers that people are fighting about and getting all up in arms about it. I'm in support of those data centers. What I have an issue with is replacing humans with AI. I don't mind AI assistance. I don't mind, AI to teach. There's a lot of aspects to AI that I don't have a problem with. But I do have a problem with taking somebody else's concept, running it through a chatbot, and then trying to sell that product to somebody else. I have an issue with that. I do. Yeah, hard style, exactly. I use AI created plugins on my own server, but I don't put it behind a VIP paywall or anything like that. Everybody has access to the plugins that I've created with AI. Dolce with another $20 super chat. I've watched about 30 plus of your Rust plugin tutorial videos like Permissions Manager, and your insight and advice is invaluable for admins and players alike. You make a huge difference in the community. Thank you. I thank you. I appreciate you taking the time to make a comment like that. That's what it's all about. This is what I'm doing, is helping the new guy, helping the experienced guy or girl that ran into a problem. I wanted to be, back in 2019, I wanted to be the go-to guy that people went to get the answers to questions that they couldn't find anywhere else. And I think I've done a pretty good job of that. It's to the point now where it's too big for just one guy. Sometimes it's incredibly overwhelming, the number of questions that I get, and like there's just not enough hours in a day. Which again, that's why I appreciated Mabel so much, because he took a lot of that stuff off of my plate. But yeah, here we are. I'm doing it. I'm doing the best that I can with the number of hours in the day that I have. Charles Max, what's up? Welcome to the stream. But yeah, I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna, obviously I've partnered with Game for Freaks to basically promote the hell out of his plugins, because damn, are they good. I can't wait to show you guys. I can't wait. I gotta figure out how to do it so that I can have my Rust game playing while I'm live streaming. I'm still struggling a little bit with that one, but we're working on it. 2019 was the last good year for both our countries. I disagree. I think 2014 was the last good year for both of our countries. But that's not, I try not to talk anything about that kind of stuff on this channel. What happened about that Rust Maps clone I saw everyone yelling about? Yeah, you know what? Well, I guess I don't know this for sure, but I'm pretty sure that they were using the Rust Maps infrastructure and trying to resell that product to other people under their own banner. I don't know that for sure. That's just what I kind of surmised from the conversation that was happening. And to your question, what happened to it, I don't know. But I know that my community will only support Rust Maps, because Rust Maps is the original. And I believe I believe that was first designed by Mr. Blue, and then Hopple came in, or maybe they started it together, I'm not sure. And they built that product together. And then I believe Mr. Blue has stepped away from Rust Maps, and now it's just Hopple, if I'm not mistaken. But they are the originals doing what they're doing, and I fully support Rust Maps. Until they go away, until they sunset that project, I probably won't ever support anybody else. No, I'm not sure. Well, first of all, I should have invited some developers to come on stream. Like I said, I wish BMG Jet were here, because, oh, look at that. Look at the timing of that. Look at the timing of that gentleman. Yeah, that could not have been planned any better. I swear to God. No, I think a lot of the developers they're too busy building or maintaining products to be bothered with this type of stuff. And it's not really up to the developer, the individual, to be dealing with this kind of stuff. It's more about the community and the platform to set the rules, maintain the standards, all of that stuff, and the curators. It's the curators that matter. It's the curators that are being backlogged with this nonsense. Jet, you missed a lot, but your timing was phenomenal. Basically, I'll just do a real quick recap here. Basically, what I'm saying is AI slop being sold on premium platforms is a no-go. vibe coded. I don't want that sold either. If you're using AI to help teach you how to build a plugin and you're learning enough so that you can maintain it going forward without using AI, then that's okay. I think that I can get on board with that. I'm a little bit on the fence, but I think I can be on board with that for right now. Even if it does something better, you wouldn't use it. So so I think we're talking about Rust maps. So if somebody come along and came up with a better concept of what Rust maps does, then yeah, I'll look at that. But chances are pretty good that the developers behind Rust maps can do it too. So like if I come up with an idea and I go to Hopple and I say, hey, like, why don't you implement this on your site? He'll probably be like, yeah, that's a great idea. Or he'll say, that's a dumb idea, I'm not doing that. Then if somebody else comes in and does it anyways, then we can have that conversation. But use it. I don't know who's calling me right now. I love Apple for telling me that somebody's calling and I don't know who it is. Maybe, damn it, I lost my train of thought. Oh, what was happening with that project though is I think they were using the Rust Maps infrastructure or the Rust Maps API to create another project that was similar, and they were charging for it, but they were using all of the work that was put in by Mr. Blue and Hopple. I don't know that for sure, but I'm pretty sure that that's what happened. So everybody got all up in arms about it, as they should have, and said, no, we're not accepting this. I think that's what happened. Isn't that cloned by a hosting company? I'm not sure. Yeah. And AI video. Okay, so BMG Jet keeps making AI videos of me. And they're funny. It's not malicious. It's funny. I appreciate it. Wouldn't competition breed better plugins? Yes. Even if the developers are competing, it makes real coded plugins worth more because you are paying for a real human, but I don't think selling AI plugins is bad. And that's fine. You can have that opinion. All I'm doing here is expressing my quote unquote unpopular opinion. I know that my opinion is of the minority. Yeah, as long as you say it's AI and let the user choose, sure, okay, that's fine. But I don't think that you're going to get that product onto a premium platform like CodeFling or like Loan.design, and certainly not like GameForFreaks.io. Different reason, same end result. I can confirm that the hardware and software are different as the hosting provider. Okay. I did not know that. As the hosting provider? So are you involved in this? Cynic Hosting. Were you involved in that? Maybe we're talking about the wrong. I could be totally off my rocker here. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. The issue is compatibility, responsibility, and dependability, because AI is not able to comprehend errors the same as humans, no matter how much you prompt it. True. Umod has so many broken and unsupported plugins and may have been created by AI and can't be repaired for facepunch updates to Rust due to lack of source code comprehension. Yes, that's true. You go away. Go away. Listed at the bottom of the. I don't know what the site is. Which site? I'm sorry. I saw this conversation happen a while ago, and I kind of hands off with it because I saw the community was already doing what needed to be done. Maybe we might be talking about different things. I'm not sure. Yeah, BMG Jet's map generation tool, that was one of the ones I was referring to earlier. They can be repaired. People just don't try to fix them because they don't care enough or get paid for it. Yeah, so, and there was a plugin a while back, and it was a free one from Umod that it took a really long time to get an update for it. So Helicon definitely fell into that category at some point in time, but I wish I could remember what the plugin was that I was referring to earlier today. I wouldn't even know how to search for it. It was a commonly used plugin, and I was shocked that it had been moved to unmaintained. Let me just go through this real quick and see if it pops out at me. Yeah, I don't know. I would have needed to have found it before I was live. Quicksmelt falls into that category? Is that what it was? It could have been, actually, but by Mysticos? No, it's not Quicksmelt. Quicksmelt is Mysticos, and it was last updated 3 years ago, apparently. Which, wow, that's a long time ago. They could be around. Got that one. We only do dedicated deployments right now because of RAM prices. RAM is ridiculous. RAM and GPUs, ridiculous. Couple of AI generated plugins I run on my server. They are admin, data, analytical, but I wouldn't sell them. I do the same thing. I do that too. I still have that plugin on my server that I created based off of somebody else's concept, but I don't charge for it. I got a bone to pick, and I know that he'll never be on my live stream, and that's fine. I don't judge that. But the server that I play on recreationally, that I have I'm just a regular player in, is he used to have a custom built building skins plugin on his server, and when Facepunch updated their terms of service to not allow that to players that hadn't actually purchased those DLCs, he got rid of that plugin. And I'm like, no, like, damn, man, I need that, because I use, like, between building grades and Skinner and, you know, all of these other things, I use all. I mean, you can easily set up those plugins to prevent people from using DLC protected content, like, and I need my what's the stone one, the crypt, I think it's called. I use that skin all the time, and now I can't use it. I have to go and individually change each one of my building blocks to the crypt skin. Peasantry. It's like eating food from ghost kitchens, which are unsafe cooking area and dangerous for everybody. Ghost kitchens? I don't know what that term means. You know what, Cynic? I would actually like to know what you're talking about. Can you send me a DM? Are you in my Discord? Or am I in your Discord? Either way. I'd like to know. Because I didn't go into it real deep, because I watched what the community did to it, and now I'm kind of questioning that maybe it wasn't even the same thing. Anyways, who knows? That's why I love the Better TC plugin for the ability to skin. Oh, better TC. Maybe I better have a look at that. That TC Manager was one of those plugins. Oh, it's good now. I had to fix TC Manager from Umod at some point in time. I don't remember when. 8 months ago? No, I don't think that's actually true. I think TC Manager has had an update since then, and it's just not showing. Anyways, I wish I could find it. I can't find it. Anyways, so this has been a really great conversation, and I know that there's some people that disagree with me, and I appreciate that you disagree. I'm open to changing my mind down the road, but right now this is my stance. This will be my community's stance. So my community will not promote the idea of selling AI slop or even AI or vibe coded slop. It has to meet a certain standard, and the curators that are deciding whether your products are actually going to be put on their platforms or not, they're following that same criteria. It has to meet a certain standard. And no, Jet, no. Those are called, I'm not going to put that country on blast, but there are sites out there already that are exactly doing that. And no, I will not condone that. So great conversation. I think that most people are on the same opinion that I am, which I appreciate. And I do like hearing from people that have a differing opinion from me. I'm not out here. Trying to change anybody's minds. I just want everyone to know that this is what the community is doing. I guess I shouldn't even be speaking for them, so I won't. I'm not going to say that this is what they're doing, but this is what I'm in support of. So we have to stop clogging up the curators' inboxes with AI slop, and yeah, just like use these tools. Use these tools like they were meant to be used. Use them to teach you how to do things. And then once you're comfortable with it, if you still run into problems, you can still go back and utilize them for help with whatever problem you might be having. But the crap that's out there right now, oh my God. Well, I mean, you guys know, you know what's out there for AI slop. Like, I'm out here right now creating images for my kits that are 100% AI generated. Like, you know, yeah, I might go back and forth on it 5 or 6 times before I get the final product, but like, I didn't open a single editing program to make any changes to these kits icons that I'm using on my own server. So there are some aspects where I'm just as much to blame, but I'm still not charging people for it. So no matter what, it's not like I'm out here contradicting myself. No matter what, nobody should be generating any money from AI slop. That's what the basis of all of this is. No, only plugins.com. That's good. Please don't do that. Oh God, if they make a Rust movie, will you be on the good side, the bad side, or just play as an NPC? They made a Rust movie. It's called Rust. It's not Rust, but it's called Rust. Did that movie ever actually see the light of day? Does anybody know? Let's go to IMDb and see if Rust ever saw the light of day, because that's the movie where somebody got ended and somebody went to court over it. Yeah, it did. No kidding. Anyways, there's a movie called Rust out there. It has nothing to do with Rust. It's a Western, I think. No, it's out, man. Well, I mean, I guess. Oh, it's not rated. Maybe they didn't release it. You can rent or buy on Prime. Oh no, it's out. You can watch it. Just gonna start submitting my AI plugins to actual creators and let them earn dollars for fixing and maintaining them. Yeah, it was an Alec Baldwin movie, or it still is, I guess. Since moved to the prior comment with the censored domain, either way, thank you for your input on this matter. I wanted to go back. I saw it. Oh, you removed the comment with, I saw it and I was trying to figure out what it was, but I didn't get there fast enough. So that's okay. I understand. It's okay. I appreciate the conversation that we've been having anyways. So we are at the 1 hour mark. I did get to say everything that I wanted to say. I know that I'm going to get I know that this video is probably going to get downvoted. For everyone that is currently watching right now, please do me a favor and hit the thumbs up. I know that this isn't a popular opinion. I know that this is going to ruffle some people the wrong way. I get it, but I'm just trying to stand up for the developers and the platforms that this Rust movie actually looks pretty good. Real superhero or real. Oh yeah, real superhero. Yes, I do charge for the kits, but I'm not charging for the icons that I'm using on the kits. So I see what you're doing there, but I'm not creating these icons and selling the icons, which is essentially the conversation that we're talking about. We're talking about AI creating a plugin and then selling that plugin on a platform that is designed to do that. So it's different. But I get what you're saying. Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate the conversation that everyone's been having. I love hearing differing opinions about anything. I don't care whether you're aligned with me or not. I just like having the conversation. Anyways, thank you all so much. I'm going to shut down the stream. I appreciate every single one of you, especially those with the super chats. It's been so long since I've had a super chat, I almost didn't recognize what was happening. Anyways, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys again next Friday. Yeah, probably next Friday. Thanks. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you all then.